Okay. What is it about the child's behavior that is a problem for the parent? That's the question, isn't it? How is your child's behavior a problem for you? Now, we may have some judgments about the child's behavior. We may think that's morally wrong, or we may think good people don't do that. And so we want it to stop, don't we? Okay. What makes us want it to stop? What makes the parents want it to stop? Their fear. The parents are afraid. If my child's behavior doesn't stop, they will grow up and they will be problems. They might be criminal problems. They might end up having some society problems, right? They're afraid that their children's behavior will create a future of unhappiness and of problems for other people. So fear is their motivation. Please change my child's behavior because I am afraid. Except they don't know they're afraid, do they? They are not aware of that part. They just know they want their child to be different. So we sometimes have experiences that are out of our conscious awareness. We don't know consciously that we're having them. And fear is one of them. And fear is one of the big motivators for people's behavior in families. Now tell me, when you have a parent who is afraid for their child and they want their child's behavior to stop, what do they usually do? Okay, there we have lots of choices, don't we? They might punish them every time they do that behavior. Okay? They might criticize them. They might nag at them. Become real nuisances. Right? They might give them to somebody else to fix. They will do lots of things to try and change the behavior, and many of those things do the opposite. They just do the opposite. So let's take it out of the parent-child relationship for a moment, and let's just look at how human beings are. If some of you know my husband, some of you do not. Okay? He travels a lot, even more than me. And so what if he was traveling and I was home and I was lonely and I missed him and I wished he was home more? So he finally comes home from a trip after I've been lonely and I criticize him. You are never here. You don't love me. If you loved me, you would stay home. Okay, what if I did that? And then I punished him. Okay, I will not do anything for you. You are on your own. I have been alone for so long. And then I nagged at him. Cancel your trips. You need to stay home with me. I am not staying here by myself anymore. What if I did that? Do you think he'd want to stay home with me? No. But that's what our parents do with their children, isn't it? That's exactly what they do. And what do the children do inside? They say, you don't understand me, right? You don't really care for me. If you did, you would accept me the way I am. You are mean to me, and I will not listen to you. Okay? That is how human beings work. My husband is no different from a teenager in that way. This is how human beings work. When we do those things, we push people away. And what we want to help people do is find a way to connect. Find a way to be able to talk to each other. Find a way to be able to listen to each other. Find a way to create positive between them, so that there are new possibilities, and so children don't have to feel like home is a terrible place. I don't want to be there. We want to make home their safe place, their loving place, the place where they go to be happy. And if we can help families just change that, children will no longer need to act in ways that are problems. I always say that children who act out in negative ways are unhappy children. Right? If they are happy, they don't need to do that. So we need to find a way to help parents change and help kids change so that they can create a happy system where people are connected to each other and there's room for everybody to be an individual within a close system. Okay? We are not going to make this about individual needs only, because human beings don't live individual lives. We live in communities. We live in families. We live in communities. We live in societies. That is the nature of human beings. This human race would not have survived if everybody lived alone. We need each other. But we also have an individual experience that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be encouraged, so that we can connect in happy ways with each other instead of being protective. So I'm hoping that over these 5 days, we will look at how to help people have both. How can I be an individual who has my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own opinions, who sees what I see and hears what I hear? How can I be an individual with my own experience? And how can I be connected in a system that is supporting each other, that is helping each other grow, that is encouraging each other? How can I have both? Not one, not the other, both. Okay? Now, some of you who know me, and there's only a few of you who know me, it's nice to see some familiar faces. Some of you who know me as a therapist. Okay? I'm not going to be teaching you therapy. This is not a therapy training course. This is a course on how to help parents and kids create something different in their family. So we're going to be looking at some of the same basic concepts that I would teach in therapy, because this satir model that I teach in has a philosophical base to it. So I'm going to be sharing some of that with you. But what we're going to be looking at is, how do I empower myself in order to empower the parents and the kids I work with, so that they can make their own choices that are more positive. So let me give you my goals right away, okay? There's 4 things that we want to help families learn how to do. The individuals in the family and the system. Both. Intrapsychic and interactive. We want to help them be more responsible. Now, many of the parents will say, that's the problem. My children are irresponsible. I want them to be more responsible in their behavior. Now, what we want to also look at, though, is what are the parents doing? Are the parents being responsible? Maybe they're being responsible that they go to work every day and earn enough money to buy food and to have a home to live in. They could have that kind of responsibility where they're responsible for their survival. But what about the rest of them? Are they responsible for their behavior with each other? Are they responsible for how they manage their feelings? Are they responsible for the choices that they're making? Some are and some aren't. Sometimes when I work with families, I find that there are parts of the parents that are pretty immature. They are behaving like children too in some ways. And they need to be more responsible for what they're doing in their inside, which means they need to be more aware. And I'm going to teach you a little bit about people's inside. But we need to look at how are they responsible for themselves and what they're doing inside and out. And what other choices could they make? Parents and kids. The second thing that I hope we will do is help people be, better choice makers